They told him he was just a daydreamer, lost in thought, his head always in the clouds. But what they didn't realize was that inside that mind, entire universes were being born and reshaped. This is the story of Albert Einstein, the man whose dreams didn't just stay dreams. They rewrote the very laws of reality. Imagine a young patent clerk sitting quietly at his desk. To the outside world, he's just another face in the crowd. But in his imagination, he's riding on a beam of light, racing through the cosmos. He's asking questions no one else dared to ask. What happens if you could catch up to light? What does time really mean? These weren't idle fantasies. They were the seeds of a revolution. From these thought experiments, these daydreams, came the theory of special relativity in 1905, his miracle year. Einstein proposed something staggering. Time isn't constant. It's relative. The faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. It sounds like science fiction, but it's a fundamental truth of our universe. Astronauts on the International Space Station are actually aging just a tiny fraction slower than we are down here on Earth. Einstein saw this not with a telescope, but with the power of his mind. But he didn't stop there. He kept dreaming, kept questioning. He wondered, what about gravity? For centuries, we followed Newton's idea of gravity as an invisible force pulling objects together. Einstein imagined something far more elegant and bizarre. He saw space and time not as a flat, empty stage, but as a flexible fabric, a four-dimensional sheet he called space-time. Picture a bowling ball placed on a trampoline. It creates a curve, a dip in the fabric. Now, roll a marble nearby. The marble doesn't get pulled by the bowling ball. It simply follows the curve created by the ball's mass. That, Einstein said, is gravity. Massive objects like planets and stars don't pull on us. They bend the very fabric of space-time, and we are just following those curves. This is his theory of general relativity, a masterpiece of human intellect that explains everything from the orbit of Mercury to the bending of starlight around the sun. And then there's the equation that everyone knows, even if they don't fully grasp its power. E=mc². 5 simple symbols that unlock the secret of the stars. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. What does it mean? It means that mass and energy are two sides of the same coin. They are interchangeable. A tiny amount of mass can be converted into an enormous amount of energy. This is the principle that powers nuclear energy, but it's also the process that makes our sun shine, converting its mass into the light and heat that gives life to our planet. Think about that. The warmth you feel on your skin from the sun's rays is a direct consequence of E=mc², an equation born from a daydream. Einstein's work didn't just change physics, it changed our entire perception of existence. He showed us that the universe is stranger, more wonderful, and more interconnected than we ever could have imagined. Time can stretch, space can bend, and matter can transform into pure energy. His story is a powerful reminder. In a world that often values noise and constant action, Einstein proved that the greatest power can come from the quietest places. It comes from curiosity, from imagination, from daring to ask, what if? He was told he was slow, that he wouldn't amount to much. But his quiet, persistent mind shook the foundations of science and changed the course of human history. So the next time you find yourself gazing at the stars, or just lost in a daydream, remember Albert Einstein. Remember that the world we see is not the only reality. Within your own mind, you have the power to imagine new worlds, to ask profound questions, and maybe, just maybe, to glimpse a deeper truth. The most powerful revolutions often begin with a single quiet thought. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through space-time and imagination. If you enjoyed this story of a genius who redefined reality, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the minds that changed our world. See you in the next one.